She was always the last to finish push-ups at Ranger School. She quit pull-ups halfway through, fell behind the men on obstacle courses. Even the instructors said she was not physically Ranger material. Until 15, Taliban fighters ambushed her unit in Afghanistan, and she single-handedly neutralized them all. Fort Benning, Georgia, is home to the U.S. Army's most demanding training camp. Ranger School is a brutal program that produces one of America's most elite units, with a 60% failure rate. Here, only the strongest, most resilient, and most determined soldiers can earn the Ranger tab. In the 6th week of the Derby phase, during a tactical field exercise, Ranger instructor Staff Sergeant Marcus "Iron" Rodriguez was conducting a physical training evaluation. At 40, a 16-year Ranger veteran with multiple deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan, he was a tough instructor. Beside him stood Master Sergeant David Hawk Thompson, one of Ranger School's most experienced cadre. At 45, he had trained thousands of Ranger candidates over his 22-year career and was known for his legendary discipline. In PT formation, Ranger candidates were lined up for morning physical training. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, 2-mile run, the standard Army physical fitness test. But Ranger standards were much more demanding. In the back row, physically smaller than the other candidates, Private First Class Emma Scout Martinez was quietly doing warm-ups. 23 years old, Mexican-American from Texas, enlisted at Fort Sam Houston, but always dreamed of serving in combat arms. Staff Sergeant Rodriguez started the test. Push-ups, starting position, move. The candidates began push-ups in sync. While strong male soldiers easily completed 80 to 90 repetitions, Emma struggled. Arms shaking, form deteriorating. Physical limitations were clearly evident. "Martinez," Rodriguez barked. "What's your count?" 47, Ranger instructor. Male candidates began snickering. The minimum standard was 50 push-ups. Emma was barely meeting the requirement. At the pull-up station, the situation became more embarrassing. While strong candidates executed 15 to 20 pull-ups, Emma could only manage 6. Her arms were completely exhausted, unable to continue. Master Sergeant Thompson took notes on the performance evaluation. Private First Class Martinez, substandard upper body strength. Questionable physical capability for Ranger operations. Her obstacle course performance was a similar disaster. Stuck halfway on the rope climb, needing assistance on the wall climb, with an overall time significantly slower than her peer group. Whispers began among the candidates, "She doesn't belong here. Physical standards are too demanding for her. Rangers need real strength." But Emma's story wasn't just about physical limitations. She performed exceptionally in academic portions. Military history, tactics, leadership principles, map reading, communications. She achieved top scores in every intellectual area. During classroom instruction, Captain Jennifer "Warrior" Hayes, Ranger School academic coordinator, immediately recognized Emma's analytical abilities. "Martinez, your tactical analysis is outstanding. Strategic thinking is exceptional." In combat scenario simulations, Emma consistently developed the best solutions. Enemy movement patterns, terrain analysis, resource allocation. She was clearly superior in mental aspects. An interesting contradiction emerged in peer evaluations. While male candidates acknowledged Emma's physical weaknesses, they respected her leadership qualities. Candidate Robert "Tank" Williams, a former college football player, 6 feet 2 inches and 220 pounds of pure muscle, was surprisingly supportive. "Emma might not lift the heaviest weight, but she thinks the clearest under pressure." Another candidate, James "Bull" Jackson, prior enlisted infantry with combat experience, added, "Physical strength is important, but tactical intelligence wins battles." But Staff Sergeant Rodriguez and Master Sergeant Thompson remained concerned. Ranger operations required extreme physical demands. The mountain phases involved heavy equipment, long-distance movements, extended periods without food or sleep. Pure physical endurance was critical. In a private conference, the discussion was serious. Rodriguez, Master Sergeant Thompson said, Martinez's academic performance is exemplary, but physical standards are concerning. She could be a liability in real Ranger operations. Sir, Rodriguez agreed, she's smart, motivated, leadership potential is clear. But when shit hits the fan in Afghanistan, brains don't stop bullets. The decision was difficult. Emma was technically meeting minimum standards, but barely. Official policy allowed continuation, but instructor recommendation was negative. The mountain phase was the most brutal portion of Ranger School, conducted in North Georgia mountains. Extended field exercises, limited food, sleep deprivation, challenging terrain, the ultimate test of physical and mental endurance. Emma's struggles intensified. She was consistently last on heavy rucksack marches, required assistance on river crossings, and needed multiple rest breaks on mountain climbing. Peer pressure increased. Some candidates openly questioned her presence. Martinez is holding us back. Candidate Kevin Rhino Peterson complained, a team is only as strong as its weakest link. She's gonna get someone killed downrange, added Thomas Crusher Brown. But a surprising pattern emerged. In tactical exercises, Emma consistently outperformed physically stronger candidates. Navigation accuracy, mission planning, resource management. Intellectual superiority was clear. A critical incident occurred during Week 8. The team was assigned a night patrol mission to locate and eliminate a simulated enemy position. Emma was designated team leader despite her physical limitations. During the mission planning phase, Emma prepared a detailed analysis. Enemy probable locations, approach routes, contingency plans, risk assessments. Other candidates were impressed despite their reservations. The execution phase was brilliant. Emma led the team through complex terrain, avoiding detection, positioning perfectly for the simulated assault. The mission was accomplished flawlessly, with 0 casualties and the objective secured. In the post-mission debrief, Staff Sergeant Rodriguez grudgingly admitted, Martinez's tactical leadership was exceptional. Mission success was directly attributable to your planning. But physical challenges remained. In the final week, Emma nearly dropped due to exhaustion. Medical evaluation revealed severe dehydration, muscle fatigue, and concerning weight loss. At the Ranger School graduation ceremony, Emma barely qualified. Physical fitness scores were minimum acceptable. Academic scores were maximum possible. Mixed evaluations produced conflicting recommendations. In the final counseling session, Master Sergeant Thompson provided an honest assessment. Martinez, you earned this tab through pure determination. Mental capabilities are outstanding. Leadership potential is clear. But physical limitations are concerning for operational assignments. Emma respectfully replied, Sergeant, I understand the concerns. But give me a chance to prove that Ranger training is more than just physical strength. Assignment orders arrived. 3rd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, Fort Benning. Combat deployment to Afghanistan was scheduled within 6 months. Advanced training commenced immediately. Weapons proficiency, close quarters combat, medical training, language basics, preparation for counterterrorism operations. Emma doubled down on physical training efforts. Extra PT sessions, strength-building programs, endurance improvement focus. Gradual improvement was evident, but still below peer levels. More importantly, she continued exceptional performance in specialized training areas. Marksmanship scores were consistently excellent. Tactical thinking was sharp, and leadership decisions were sound under pressure. Squad integration was initially challenging. Male Rangers were skeptical about the female addition, especially one with documented physical limitations. Squad leader Staff Sergeant Miguel "Serpent" Reyes was initially resistant. "I don't care about politics. My soldiers' lives matter more than social experiments." But Emma's persistent professionalism, technical competence, and willingness to take on extra responsibilities gradually earned grudging respect. March 2023, Forward Operating Base Chapman, Khost Province, Afghanistan. The 3rd Battalion was conducting counterinsurgency operations against Taliban remnants and foreign fighters. Emma was assigned to Alpha Team, led by Staff Sergeant Reyes. Team composition: 8 Rangers including Emma, with missions typically involving direct action raids, reconnaissance, and high-value target captures. Initial operations were routine. Emma performed adequately, but physical limitations were evident during extended patrols. Carrying extra ammunition, medical supplies, and communications equipment was challenging for her smaller frame. Team dynamics were gradually improving. Emma's tactical insights were valuable during mission planning. Her calm demeanor under stress was reassuring, and her medical training was useful for treating minor injuries. A critical mission was assigned: high-value target capture in a village near the Pakistani border. Intelligence indicated a Taliban commander responsible for multiple IED attacks against coalition forces. The mission briefing was detailed: compound location, target identification, extraction routes, contingency plans. Emma contributed significantly to tactical planning, identifying potential complications overlooked by others. October 15, 2000 hours, Team Alpha was inserted via helicopter 3 kilometers from the target location. The approach march was through mountainous terrain, rocky passages with limited visibility. Emma struggled with the heavy equipment load but maintained her position within the team formation. No complaints, no requests for assistance, professional determination was evident. The target compound approach was successful, but intelligence was seriously flawed. Instead of a single, high-value target with minimal security, they discovered a major Taliban stronghold with 15 plus heavily armed fighters. The team was positioned for assault when enemy sentries detected their presence. An immediate firefight erupted, with Taliban fighters pouring from multiple buildings, superior numbers, and defensive positions. Staff Sergeant Reyes immediately called for extraction. Charlie Base, Alpha Team under heavy fire, request immediate air support and extraction. The response was devastating. Alpha Team, air support is 45 minutes out. Extraction not possible under current conditions. Find cover, hold position. The situation rapidly deteriorated. Ranger Jimmy Falcon Torres took a bullet to the shoulder. Specialist Mark Eagle Davis had a leg wound from shrapnel. The team was pinned down behind a low stone wall, ammunition depleting rapidly. Taliban fighters were advancing from 3 directions, attempting to flank the team position. It was a coordinated assault with automatic weapons, RPGs, and hand grenades, professional military tactics. "We're fucked," whispered Corporal Jason Viper Clark. 15 Taliban, 8 Rangers, 2 wounded, running low on ammo. Staff Sergeant Reyes was assessing the desperate situation. "Martinez, you're the smallest target. Think you can reach the radio position, call in precise coordinates for airstrike." Emma studied the battlefield layout, Taliban positions, and potential approach routes. Her mental calculation was rapid and accurate. "Negative, Sergeant. Radio position is too exposed. Taliban would eliminate me before transmission is complete." "Then what do you suggest?" Emma was quiet for a moment. analyzing the tactical situation with her training and natural intellect. The solution was unorthodox but potentially effective. Sergeant, Taliban are focused on our position, expecting us to defend passively. They're not watching their flanks because they outnumber us. Your point? A single operator could circle around, attack from behind, create confusion, disrupt their assault coordination. Reyes was skeptical. Martinez, that's a suicide mission. 15 armed fighters, one person alone. Sir, sometimes unconventional approaches work because they're unexpected. Emma's proposal was desperate, but alternatives were non-existent. Air support was still 30 minutes away, team ammunition was critically low, and the Taliban assault was intensifying. Martinez, Reyes decided. You're the smallest, fastest, quietest. If anyone can pull this off, it's you. Emma checked her equipment. M4 carbine, 4 magazines remaining, 2 hand grenades, knife, first aid kit, a light combat load for maximum mobility. Sergeant, when I attack from behind, you assault from the front. Coordinate timing, maximize confusion. Movement began immediately. Emma low-crawled away from the team position, using terrain features for concealment. The Taliban, focused on the main firefight, didn't detect the flanking movement. The approach took 10 minutes, circling wide through rocky terrain. Emma positioned herself behind Taliban formations, with an excellent view of enemy positions. 15 fighters total, 8 in the primary assault line, 4 in support positions, 3 providing covering fire from elevated rocks. Emma's tactical analysis: eliminate support positions first, then the assault line, finally the elevated positions. The sequence was critical for maximum effectiveness. First target, isolated Taliban fighter manning a PKM machine gun. Emma approached to 15 meters, single precise shot to the head. Target down, weapon captured. Second target, 2 fighters coordinating the assault. Emma used the captured machine gun, rapid burst eliminated both. The Taliban were beginning to realize the rear attack. Third engagement. 3 fighters turned to face her. Emma switched to her M4 carbine. Precise shooting. 3 targets neutralized rapidly. Taliban assault coordination was breaking down. Confusion, shouting. Fighters turning away from the primary target to deal with the unexpected threat. Emma continued systematic elimination. Movement between positions, target acquisition, precise fire, immediate displacement, ranger training and natural tactical sense were combining perfectly. Taliban fighter number 7, attempting to flank her position. Emma anticipated the movement, positioned herself advantageously, single-shot elimination. Fighter number 8 tried to use a grenade against her. Emma spotted the preparation. Rapid fire disrupted the throw. Grenade exploded harmlessly. Fighter number 9. Experienced combatant with a good tactical movement. Extended firefight, Emma used superior marksmanship, eventually successful. Taliban realization was growing. A single enemy operator was systematically destroying their unit. Panic was beginning to replace confidence. Staff Sergeant Reyes, monitoring from the primary position, was amazed by the development. Holy shit, Martinez is tearing them apart. The remaining Taliban fighters were attempting to retreat, but Emma maintained pressure. She moved to elevated positions and continued engagement. Fighter number 10 attempted escape through a ravine. Emma predicted the route, positioned herself accordingly, eliminated the target during movement. Fighters 11 to 12 tried coordinated escape. Emma used her final grenade. The explosion eliminated both targets simultaneously. The final 3 Taliban fighters barricaded themselves in a building. Desperate situation. Emma approached carefully, used tactical patience. The building assault required close-quarters combat skills. Emma entered systematically, room by room clearing, textbook CQB techniques. Fighter number 13, surprised in the first room. Close-range engagement, Emma victorious. Fighter number 14, attempted ambush from the stairway. Emma detected movement. Superior reflexes resulted in successful engagement. Final fighter, As-15, Taliban commander, experienced and desperate. Hand-to-hand combat ensued when ammunition was exhausted. The physical strength disparity was significant, but Emma's training, determination, and tactical intelligence overcame the size disadvantage. Combat concluded with Emma victorious. Total engagement time, 23 minutes. 15 Taliban fighters eliminated by a single ranger. Alpha Team casualties, 2 wounded, 0 killed. The mission was transformed from disaster to complete success. Air support arrived to find the situation resolved. A medical evacuation helicopter treated the wounded rangers while others secured the area. Staff Sergeant Reyes approached Emma, still processing what had occurred. "Martinez, what you did? I've never seen anything like it in 15 years. Sergeant, just did my job. The team needed help." "No, that wasn't just doing your job. That was something else entirely." Intelligence gathering from the eliminated Taliban revealed major intelligence value. Documents, communications equipment, weapons cache, significant operational success beyond the immediate tactical victory. The battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Patricia Warrior Hayes, flew to the location personally for the debrief. After hearing the detailed account from witnesses, she submitted recommendations for the highest valor awards. The official after-action report documented: Private First Class Martinez displayed exceptional tactical intelligence, combat effectiveness, and personal courage under extreme circumstances. Single-handed elimination of 15 enemy combatants prevented potential team casualties and mission failure. Media coverage was inevitable once the story leaked. Female Ranger eliminates 15 Taliban single-handed. Small soldier, big victory. Physical strength versus mental strength debate settled. Emma was uncomfortable with the attention and preferred the focus to remain on team success and mission accomplishment. The award ceremony was conducted at Fort Benning. Emma received the Silver Star, Bronze Star with V device, Purple Heart for minor shrapnel wounds, and Combat Infantry Badge. More significantly, attitudes throughout the Ranger Regiment were transformed. Physical strength was still important, but tactical intelligence, mental toughness, and determination were recognized as equally valuable. The Ranger School curriculum was updated, incorporating Emma's case study. The balance between physical standards and intellectual capabilities was reassessed. Staff Sergeant Rodriguez, the former skeptic, was now an advocate. Martinez proved that Ranger effectiveness isn't just about muscle mass. Mental strength, tactical thinking, courage under fire, these qualities are sometimes more important. Master Sergeant Thompson agreed. "We learned a valuable lesson. Don't underestimate people based on physical appearance. Combat effectiveness comes in different packages." Emma was promoted to specialist, then sergeant rapidly. She was assigned as an instructor at Ranger School, teaching tactical planning and small unit tactics. Her core message to new candidates: physical fitness is important, but mental preparation is crucial. Study tactics, understand the enemy, think creatively. The size of the fight in the dog matters more than the size of the dog in the fight. Years later, Emma's Afghanistan action became a standard case study at military academies. Tactical analysis, decision-making under pressure, individual initiative in combat, all were examined as examples of exceptional soldiering. From that transformative combat action forward at Fort Benning Ranger School, everyone knew Sergeant Emma Scout Martinez as the true meaning of Ranger excellence. The candidate who had struggled with physical limitations had accomplished one of the most impressive individual combat performances in American military history. Her story became an inspiration to countless soldiers facing physical challenges, peer doubts, and institutional biases. She proved that combat effectiveness comes from multiple factors. Physical strength is important, but mental toughness, tactical intelligence, and moral courage are equally valuable. Emma's physical limitations, initially seen as disqualifying weaknesses, became her unique advantages. Smaller size meant better concealment. Intellectual approach compensated for strength differences. Determination overcame physical disadvantages. Most importantly, the Afghanistan action demonstrated a fundamental military truth. Battles are won by soldiers who think clearly, act decisively, and refuse to quit despite overwhelming odds. Physical attributes matter, but mental characteristics are often more decisive. Her legacy continues to influence military training, personnel evaluation, and combat doctrine. The lesson learned: don't judge warriors by physical appearance. When lives hang in the balance and impossible odds need overcoming, sometimes the smallest soldier becomes the greatest hero. That day in Coast Province proved an essential principle. Heroism comes in all sizes. Combat effectiveness isn't always about the biggest muscles. Sometimes it's about the biggest heart, sharpest mind, and strongest will. Emma Martinez embodied these qualities, and the result: 15 enemy fighters eliminated, team saved, mission accomplished by someone everyone thought was too weak for Rangers. The lesson learned in the military was never forgotten. Real strength isn't always visible. When bullets are flying and brothers need saving, the person you least expect might be exactly who the situation requires. Emma Scout Martinez proved this truth in 23 minutes of perfect combat, earning her place among Ranger legends forever.